What's up, you guys? So I didn't really have any intention of posting a vlog today, but today turned into like one of those really crappy mental health days, and it almost made me kind of want to shut down and just do nothing today, just really get lost in my head and just kind of self-hate, I guess is what you would call it. I know better. This is where I kind of use the vlog to help myself, and also going to use it as kind of a, let's say, a teaching lesson for people in a way. So I've been over this quite a few times in my vlog, but I know I've got a ton of new subscribers, so in case anyone doesn't know. With the condition that I have, cystic fibrosis, you need at least 3,000 calories a day to maintain your weight. That's just maintaining a decent base weight. If you want to gain weight, you have to get 3,000 plus calories. But a lot of times that's not enough. Like, just getting the calories isn't gonna do it. You need to be in the gym. You need to make sure you're getting the right vitamin levels, the right amount of protein, everything just kind of put into one. Gaining weight with CF, you know, some people it's very easy, some people it's more difficult. You know, it's like putting like this puzzle together, and everyone's puzzle is different. And body image is something that I feel a lot of people struggle with. And this isn't just for people with CF. Like, yes, I have CF and this is where mine is coming from, but body image is a very sensitive thing and something that I feel can really send someone into a downward spiral, and it can just be one of those trigger points that just really just kind of beats a person down. I pride myself on being one of those people that doesn't let a lot get to me. With CF, I've kind of learned how to just roll with I'm human, everyone's human. There's certain points and there's certain things that really get to me, and I've talked about it before, but my body image is one that I'm always uncomfortable with. I've been uncomfortable with it all of my life because I grew up and I was just super skinny always. I always got teased for it, always got told how skinny I was. And then randomly at one point in my life, I was able to gain weight. Like, I ballooned up to like 160 pounds or something like that. The biggest I got was close to 165. And let me tell you, being 5'7" and 165 pounds of just not working out, just weight, it's not a good look for me, and it actually made it harder to breathe. It was nice because like people were like, oh man, you have like a dad bod. And that was the biggest compliment ever for me. Like, most people think of that and they think of like the dad bod and just kind of like, you're not really in shape, you're just kind of jiggling everywhere, and they hate it. But for me, it was like the most beautiful, like priceless thing. So I was like, yes, like, give me the dad bod over people telling me how thin I am all the time. And your body, when you have cystic fibrosis, it's always changing. You can have a period of a couple months to where your body is just like easy to gain weight, and then all of a sudden it changes. And that's what happened with me. Like, it went from very easy to gain weight to falling back down to where it's like kind of in the middle. I feel like I've teetered more to being back to where it's very hard for me to gain weight unless I do everything to a T that I have to do, to where it's getting 3,000 plus calories, making sure all my protein is in, getting the right vitamins, going to the gym, all of that. I was starting to get back into decent shape last year because I was back in the gym and I was feeling really good, but then when everything happened with me and my ex-fiance, it just kind of broke me. Like, my self-worth just declined. It was very hard for me to find motivation to get to the gym. It was very hard for me to find the motivation to even just eat, you know, to get the calories that I needed. It's felt like that for a while, and I'm slowly starting to pull myself out of it. We're just kind of coming full circle to where I am now, to I am not in a comfortable place with my body right now. I honestly 100% despise the way I look. Like, I hate it. And I know you guys will probably respond to this and say that I look fine and I look great and not to worry about it, and I wholly appreciate that. I know it's coming from a good place, but you know, this kind of applies to everyone. If you don't feel good about yourself, compliments from other people and the encouragement, you appreciate it, but it's almost like it can't faze you, because kind of like the disgust at your own self and your own body is more overpowering. Whenever I lived in San Diego, I went to the gym constantly. I was getting my calories. The weather was always perfect, so my health wasn't suffering. My lung function was at like 91%. Best shape I've ever been in my life. Like, everyone that I worked with, I always got complimented on how I looked. People that I worked with would come up to me and just be like, hey man, do you have like workout tips? And that was just insane for me. Insane for the always skinny kid to suddenly be like the buff guy. I was finally in this place where I was happy with myself. I was happy with my body. I recently was going through, you know, my old pictures and all that and came across it. So for the past, you know, like week or two, I've just been like really bummed looking at my progress and where I was and how far I've fallen. But then lately, I've had a lot of people commenting on it. And I know it's very apparent now. And you know what? I know people do not mean bad by it. I know people are not meaning it with any malice or ill intent or anything like that, but it's not socially acceptable to go up to someone and just be like, wow, you've gotten really big. You know, it's not. And it should also be the same way if you are a person who is smaller, because people think that we're so lucky because we can eat all we want and, you know, we never gain weight and we're so thin, and people think it's like a blessing, but it is a goddamn curse. Especially if you're already someone who suffers from like any sort of like mental illness and depression and things that get you down, like a scab. Like as soon as it starts healing and you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting better, someone comes and rips the damn thing off again. And you know, I've had family that have seen me lately and they've been like, wow, like you've really lost some weight. You know, you're really thin. You know, I just had a friend say earlier today, when she didn't mean it bad, she was like, wow, you look really skinny. I snapped on her, and today it kind of made me just want to shut down and do nothing. But if you do that, it's just going to keep snowballing. So, you know, I wanted to take a minute to make this vlog to tell people that please be conscious of your words. Like, I know a lot of people don't mean bad by it, and some people don't understand that someone being small and unable to gain weight is a trigger point for them, and it just brings them down. So you wouldn't go up to someone, like I said, and tell them they need to lose weight. So please don't come up to people who are very thin or have chronic illnesses and just be like, wow, you're really skinny, or tell us how lucky we are because we can't gain weight. Because no, we are not lucky. The heavier you are and the more weight you have on, it makes it easier for your body to fight off lung infections. You know, my weight is way down and I can't get my lungs above 75%. So it all correlates and it all connects together when you have CF. So, you know, if you know, your weight drops, your lungs drop. You know, your lungs drop, your weight drops. It just all connects. It's been really bad lately. Like when I get in the shower, I don't even take my shirt off in front of the mirror. I make sure that I'm away from it before I get in the shower, just because I can't stand the way that I look. It's not easy to say that. It's not easy to talk about these things. People know about women and how they suffer with body image issues, and I think a lot of people lose focus of how many men go through it as well, and how it's still almost a very taboo subject in a way, because you don't want to admit to that. You don't want to be a guy and be like, oh, you know, I have body image issues. But you know, we have to get rid of those stigmas and those, you know, those gender stereotypes, because body image issues, mental health issues, all that, they affect everyone. It doesn't matter what your gender is or anything like that. Today I'm making it a point, like right now on this vlog today, I'm really tired of just sitting around and not doing anything about it and letting my mind stop me from making progress. Because that's the hardest thing, is getting back to it, getting back in the grind of working out. And yeah, you know what? I don't really have the funds right now for the supplements and stuff I need, but I'm gonna make it work. You know, I'll increase my food intake, I'll do what I have to, I'll eat 86 packs of ramen noodles a day if I need to. I may not be able to make it to a gym, but I have resistance bands, and today I'm gonna bust those bad boys out, and I'm gonna use them, and I have to make a dent in this, because I know if I don't, I'm just gonna the cycle is gonna keep continuing, because my mind is what keeps me from doing it, because I don't wanna know how much weight I can't lift now. I don't want to, I'm working out and look in the mirror and see all the progress that I've lost. But you know what, you have to. Eventually you have to face these things. You kinda have to face your fears and face your insecurity. Just plow through it. And I know that it's very hard to do. I'm in no way this person who is great at it, but if I can use this vlog to somehow to help other people with these you know, body image issues, and to help them realize that you gotta plow through it. Like, you have to take control, and in a lot of cases it's gonna be a very slow and painful and tedious process, but it's like once you start getting those first little bits of like gains back, it, you know, it increases your confidence, it helps you out, it makes you motivated and it makes you happy, and that's the place I have to get to. I'm not gonna let myself fall into like this depression hole. I'm just gonna face them head on. You're about to see a few pictures pop up, and this is me at my best. Obviously, I was not some crazy built brick shit house, but you know, I was like 145 to 150 pounds of, you know, I was muscle. Like I was in the gym all the time, and I actually had like, my chest had definition and my arms and stuff. It wasn't just like bird chest Barry over here. You guys just saw what I looked like at my very best, and now you're gonna see what I look like now. So this is me currently at 130, I think I'm at 137 right now. And you know, this is not fun for me currently. This is not an easy thing, but you just have to kind of deal with it. And you know, like I said, you have to just jump and face those insecurities head on. It's the little things, like my chest is sunk in. You can really tell, I can always tell when I lose a lot of weight just by like my collarbone area and my chest right here when it gets very sunken in. Also, now that I have this thing, the more weight I lose, the more, you see how this is very prominent right now, my port. Whenever I start putting weight on, you can't see that as much. But this is me currently. I don't like it. But unless I do something to change it, unless I make progress and steps forward, it's never gonna change. I'm just going to stay in my depression and stay in this very crap headspace, and it's not gonna get any better. Things like this are issues I feel like a lot of people don't want to admit to. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to face these. You don't want to, you know, take your shirt off in front of however many thousand people are watching this right now and show the progress you've lost. But I mean, you just kind of have to. Whatever gives me anxiety or whatever puts fear into me or insecurities. For me, over the years, I've learned that avoidance just makes it worse. It's just fueling the fire and making it constantly worse. And I'm not saying that that's a trick that works for everybody, but for me, I'm a type of person where it's just kind of like you gotta jump in the deep end and you just gotta kind of spearhead these things. And that's what I'm here doing today in front of all you guys. I'm accepting that this is my body currently. This is not the body that I enjoy. This is not the body that I want to have. This is me today, and I'm going to use today as a jump off point to improve myself, to make myself better. And you know, as these vlogs progress, I want to be able to look back at this and just be able to say, man, like, look how far I came. You're gonna start making progress, and then something's gonna happen, and then you're gonna kind of fall down, but you gotta catch yourself, because what happens is you start that backslide. Whenever you get sick or whatever happens, life happens, you start that backslide, and then you start losing motivation, and then you start kind of coming down on yourself, because if you got a brain like mine, it just talks mad shit to you all the time and makes you feel like crap. You can put a safety net there and catch yourself to where you won't fall so far, and you won't have so far to go to get that progress back, and then you can continue again. And that's the biggest mistake that I've made. I've usually been very good about it, about staying on top of it and not letting myself fall too far. But after, like I said, after my relationship ended and everything just kind of went downhill for me, and I've hit this rock bottom kind of in my life, and I'm pulling myself back up. I've let myself slide super far. You know, if you want, do it with me today. Use today to take your life back. Whether you are unhappy because you're thin, whether you want to lose weight, or anything like that, whether you have scars, no matter what. And I know it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I know it 100%. But if we just sit here and we're constantly so self-conscious of ourselves, it's never going to get better. So, you know, if you guys want, use today as well as your jump off point. Get to a point to where you're happy with yourself, because no matter what everyone else tells you, unless you're happy with yourself, you're never going to be truly happy. You know, you can cover it up as much as you want, and people can compliment you all they want, say all the nice things or whatever, but unless you're happy with yourself, you're not truly happy. I'm taking a stand today. I'm gonna get my weight back up. I'm gonna pull my damn lungs away from 75%. I'm gonna get them back into the 80s. And by God, eventually I'm gonna get them back to the 90s where they were. And also, this is not a competition. Before someone even says it, because there's always those people who will come and they're just gonna be like, oh, Morgan, you don't look that bad. You know, my friend looks way worse than you, or I look way worse. And it's like, it's no different than your lung function. Like, people hear me complaining about my 75% lungs and they're like, oh my God, I have 30% lungs on the transplant list. And I'm like, my heart goes out to these people, but I'm not gonna sell myself short. Just be okay that I've lost lung functions or I've lost weight just because someone else, you know, is worse off. We can't do that. We have to lift each other up. We have to be each other's support system. Saying that I'm sicker than you game or I'm worse than you game, that and progress do not go together. We need to be there to love each other, support each other, pick each other up when we fall. And that's kind of the, you know, the point of this. Like I said, I always try to be real with you guys. Instead of falling back into my pit of, you know, self-hate and all that, I wanted to make this and, you know, just kind of bare myself for you guys and show that, yeah, it's not pretty, but if you don't pick a day and finally choose to change, like, nothing's gonna change. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for checking out the vlog. As always, be sure to follow me on social media. All of my links are down here at the bottom. I haven't made a vlog since I hit 50K, so once again, thank you guys so much for getting us to 50,000 subscribers. We're actually at like 52 now, maybe 53, I don't know, I haven't checked lately. But we are halfway, actually more than halfway now, to that silver play button. You guys are absolutely just amazing. Like, I can't say enough. Also, if you noticed at the first of this video, I have an intro video now. A massive, massive thanks to Marcella. She's one of my amazing followers from Brazil. She made that intro video for me. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, thank you so much, Marcella. I love you. You are amazing, and hopefully your shirt gets there very soon. I don't know how long it takes to ship to Brazil, but it'll be there eventually. That's it, guys. As always, thank you for watching. For everyone watching this, be conscious of what you say. Don't pick people apart, build them up. For people going through something, take today as the jump off point to change and to get back on the path to loving yourself. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Be good to each other. Love each other. Later.